Hey, this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're looking at a couple cool guitars. This is my 1958 Les Paul Jr. and over here is my 1960 Les Paul Jr. Don't let the two pickups fool you. We'll get into that a little bit later. So the Junior is such a cool guitar. In 1954, Gibson wanted to offer a less expensive solid body. The Les Paul, what they did, they took this, they stripped away all the fancy things like the carved maple top, came out with just a solid mahogany slab. They did away with the binding, no binding on the neck, no binding on the body, like this one has, you can kind of see. So that labor-intensive binding, that went as well, no binding. Just a pick guard screwed right to the body, single ply pick guard, a single dog-eared pickup, one volume, one tone, and then the bridge is just a repurposed stop tail piece from a standard Les Paul. So, and then the neck is a carved mahogany, and back up through 58, they were kind of a little chunkier. And then in the 60s, they got skinny. They made a lot of these actually in 3/4 size, which are fine, but these ones, the full size, are really magic guitars. You know, people like, if you remember that band, Jethro Tull. There's just something huge about this thing. Junior fans kind of maintain that part of the magic is this single coil pickup, or this single pickup. Some people feel that having multiple pickups, you've got more magnets kind of pulling on the strings, making it less resonant. I don't know. It's talk to 10 different guitar nerds, you're going to get different opinions. But that's one theory of the magic. Speaking of magic, I guess Leslie West is probably like the most magic guy. Again, that's just a huge tone, you know, no delay, no anything, just an overdriven amp and one pickup and an affordable guitar. So although this was, you know, kind of started as a student model, it was embraced by a lot of great guitar players. Now, I found the early ones play a little rough. the neck angle on the early ones kind of limited how low you could get that action, which is actually great for a slide player, but not ideal for all of us. And they have, I mean, I don't know, they have their own charm to them. This pickup, you know, I've got a little MXR overdrive going in front of it, and I'm going into, I've got a valve train amp and a Fender Blues Junior that I'm running together right now. But I find it just so versatile. Right there, the bridge alone. Just really an enchanting tone. Also, what I like about them is they came with these, you know, this is a cheap kind of student model guitar, inexpensive student model guitar, cheap's the wrong word. But these are the original cases that they came with, and it's just, I mean, it's cardboard, but it's got this cool kind of alligator print on it. And these, as you might guess, they disintegrate pretty quickly. So there's not a whole lot of them floating around anymore. But for you people looking for vintage guitars, this is kind of an inspiring story. This guitar, my buddy Dave Goodwin found for me, and I paid under $2,000 for it. And I don't know, I probably got it about, I don't know, 8 years ago or whatever. But the market was way up. And I guess all that to say, they made a lot of these, and they're around there. And it's a cool way to get into the vintage game without spending too much. Now granted, top Blue Book is high on them, but there are bargains. So this is the 58. Oh, also little cool appointments are these inline tuners, which tend to disintegrate, but these are still holding up all right. And this one is I've got the original bridge, but this is another Gibson bridge because the other one was kind of eaten through. What I'd like to do is update it with something that like that Joe Glazer bridge I have in that 54, kind of help the intonation, but it's not bad. Now here, this is my 1960 Junior, and somewhere along the way, somebody tried to convert this Junior to a Special. Now the Special was like a Junior, only it had a second pickup in it and controls much like a Les Paul. But a lot of people converted their Juniors to Specials. John Lennon, for instance, he had his post-Beatle #1 guitar was a Junior that he put a Charlie Christian pickup in the neck position. I heard that he said he wanted to get, I think he called it a Humberdinker. He meant to say humbucker, but that's there's an interview around there somewhere of him saying something like that. Anyway, so this is a 1960 Junior that somebody converted over. They also put on this badass bridge, and this probably happened in the 80s. And badass is actually the brand. And it is kind of badass, but that's the brand of it. So giving a little, probably helped the guitar, gave a little more intonation options. They added this second pickup, which I'm holding in place with gaff tape. I did that myself. It's a little loose. They changed out the tuners and all that jazz. But as a 1960, this kind of has that quintessential 60s Les Paul skinny neck. And again, still the Brazilian rosewood. Same thing, mahogany slab body, carved mahogany neck, no volute, which they got into a little bit later in the 70s. But it's cool just to see this evolution of the Les Paul series. Now this guitar, let me just play a little bit here for you. It's got about somebody jacking up this guitar is they made it very affordable. Again, there's some bargains out there. I got this for, I think, like $2,300. So for a 1960 Les Paul, granted, it's not the burst holy grail, but it's an affordable, I don't know, cousin. So they're out there. So I don't mind them being jacked up. So look around, you never know what you're gonna find. This case I actually found on tour in a pawn shop in Canada for 20 bucks. So again, this is probably not the most, not the golden age of finding cheap vintage instruments, but they're out there. And the juniors are just a wonderful option for you. So check them out. Hey, also make sure you subscribe to Facebook, Instagram, to our PG site, to our YouTube channel, Head of Magazine sent to your home. This is John Bolger. Till next time.